Hey everybody, welcome back to Mama's Backyard Garden. And today I'm going to take you on the tour of my seedlings and the progress. So come along with me and see what we got growing in the basement. Hey y'all, welcome back. Let me put this light on right here. Oh, that's better. That give you a little bit more light. Welcome back to the basement, y'all. I am so excited to bring you on the tour with me on all of the seedlings that I have started and have the progress. Everything looks so good, it looks so healthy. And the best thing of all, I have no fungus gnats in here at all. So I am really happy about that. And if you're making sure that you're doing your soil correctly when you're sterilizing it at the beginning, you don't have to worry about issues with fungus gnats. And I didn't use anything that was yellow, so I didn't use any type of yellow nothing. But everything looks so good, and I'm gonna take you on a tour. So what I'm gonna try to do is pull these out. See if I can put this right here. By the trays. Now these are my tomatoes. I potted them up into, what is this, what, 3.5 inch pots, I would imagine. And when they were like this tall, like that tall. So they've been in here, I would say now for almost 3 weeks maybe. And I first started them off at the top. So at the top is where I put my little small seedlings once I transplant them up. That way they're close to the light and they can get the heat that they need, and which will help them to grow. I did the tomatoes the same way. And so as they get bigger, when those leaves hit that light on this top shelf, then I move them down to the next shelf. And so they're allowed to grow even taller. And then when they get taller, if they can go down to the next one, I put it on the bottom. But hopefully by that time, the greenhouse will be open, and I will be able to take those out and just sit those out on the shelf in the greenhouse. And that way that will free up more room for me down here in the basement to start my summer veggies like my cucumbers and my squash and my beans and those things. And also my fall veggies. I'm going to start my fall veggies early this year, and I'll make sure that I use this grow room to get those done, because I usually try to use the greenhouse, but it would be too hot in there when it get to a certain part of the summer. And if the soil gets too hot, it just destroys the seed. It's not going to germinate. So I got a new plan this year so that we can have better progress. But let's get into this tour. So the first thing, I think probably what I'll do is I'll do the tomatoes first, and then I'll have to pick you up to show you what the peppers look like. But they're really wonderful, beautiful. They're growing true leaves and everything. They're still moist, so I don't have to worry about putting any water on them right now. And they're getting the heat that they need from this top shelf. And you see, I have them built up with styrofoam so that I can get my little seedlings when they're this tall. When they're this tall, I'm hoping the lighting is okay. And this is a thick cayenne pepper. This year I used my head. I got some waterproof labels and some waterproof markers. And I was able to write down each one that I transplanted, fill the pots, and then I put it on the side. This way, if the tray falls over, I won't have to worry about what pepper is what. And I've had that happen to me twice. So I said that's not going to happen again. So this is a thick cayenne. It's a hot pepper. They grow slow anyway, but it's still healthy. If you look real close, you can see that there are some true leaves coming in right in there, in the middle. Those are the first set of true leaves coming in, so that I know that it's getting some growth. It's getting plenty of light from these lights here, and it's getting warm because these lights, they put out a little heat too. So these are maybe like 2 inches. They're probably about 2 inches from the light, but they'll be fine. They won't have to really stretch to grow. This is a long slim cayenne. So this one is more advanced. You can see the set of true leaves right here. These are the condyletums. These, let me turn it around so you can see. So these two are the condyletums. These are the true leaves right here. So it's growing perfectly. It's really pretty. It's nice and strong. It's green. The color is nice on it. So we know that we're doing well. We're doing well. But let's talk about the tomatoes. I'm talking about peppers. I said we're going to talk about tomatoes. So let's see if we can pull. So this first one I have over here. Okay, now stop it. Stop it. What I do? Oh. Okay, I messed up a light somehow. Why is it doing that? Oh, it's unplugged there. Now, there we go. All right, so these are, I have different type of tomatoes. So these are my black opal cherry tomatoes. These, and I put whether they were determinate or indeterminate on the side of the container. That way, when I get ready to plant them, I know how much trellis or what type of trellis I'm going to have to put on these. But these are beautiful. I put these in the pot when they were only about this tall. So check it out now. It's just absolutely gorgeous. They're nice and strong. They're green. They're dry. So I'm going to have to water them and I'm going to fertilize them. So this will be the first time me actually fertilizing tomatoes since I transplanted them. But I'm going to fertilize them with some fish fertilizer because they're really not in the flowering stage right now. They're just in the growing stage. So I'm going to get some fish fertilizer. And so this is kind of help you show how many, you can see how pretty they are just from here. So I'm going to tell you the different types that I have. So this is a Rosa Sicilian. This is the determinate tomato. I plan on using this to make sauces with. This plant will only grow about 3 feet high, and then it will flower and give me just lots of tomatoes. So this is the one of the ones I'm going to be using to make sauces with. So this is the Rosa Sicilian. And if you notice on my previous video where I talked about the seeds that I've grown, you'll see some of those same seeds that I was talking about growing. These are those plants that I was talking about. And then these are Mystery Tomato 1 and Mystery Tomato 2. Now, I think what I did is I planted 2 rows of beefsteak and I planted 2 rows of aroma, I think. So, because I could have extra. And I kind of did not label that little piece of wood that I had on there to let me know that that was the second row for the beefsteaks. So I'm thinking that these are beefsteaks and Romas in here. Which ones are which? I don't know whether it's Mystery Tomato 1 or 2 or whatever. I may go back because I did do shoot some pictures and do a little short video that I was going to post about these once I planted them. So I'll go back and look at the trays and maybe I'll be able to tell. But now that I've taken them out of the little seed starting things, I won't be able to tell you which ones is which because I don't know which row I took them out of. So, you know, this will be maybe fun to just promote something if I, you know, once I start getting the opportunity to get them out, you know, let them just pick a mystery tomato and just tell them which one it could be. Yeah, that's pretty much what I can do. But apparently, and I don't know whether they're determinate or indeterminate. So I don't know what these are. And I specifically put these labels on here to keep me from having this problem. And I still screwed up this one. But that's all right. It's okay. No big deal. These are my Bush Early Girls. These are determinants. I use these to make sauce as well. They're actually really, really pretty. And then I have, let's see, this is a sugar baby here. It looks like the condoleezum. Okay, that one's dying off. That's just the condoleezum. It's falling off. So this is a sugar baby tomato. They're nice and strong. So what I've been doing is that I every other day I'll turn the fan on them so that the fan can blow them. And that air from the fan will actually help to strengthen them. That's why they're standing so pretty and tall. If not, they'd be leaning over because they'd be weak. They wouldn't be able to stand on their own. And the bigger they got, the more they would lay over. So if you're starting your seedlings indoors, make sure you have a little light fan. It doesn't have to be anything that's going to have a real strong wind. Just a light wind enough to move the plants. Then that'll be fine, and that will help strengthen them up as they get bigger. Let's see. Let's put that one back. They all need to be watered. And this one is a green grape tomato. They're all just beautiful. They're really nice and strong. And then I have some eggplant right here. So this is the Black Beauty eggplant, the big round black one. So these are some eggplants that I started. They're coming along just fine. They grow slow too. That's why you have to start them early as well. They are dry, so I will hit them as well with a little water and some fertilizer. And I'm going to show you how I do that today. And then we have a beefsteak. This is the big sandwich size tomato. They're beautiful. Now, they're a little bit more sturdier than these on this end because the fan is down there. So I'll probably swap, the trays out. Maybe the next time I turn it on and take these on the end and move them down there and move these down here so that these can get some more air and kind of strengthen them. And they'll be fine once I kind of get it situated. And then we have, so this is the great Amish paste tomato that I've heard a lot about. It I hear is very prolific and it's really good at making tomato paste and stuff. So I think this is indeterminate, so I'm gonna have to trellis it a different way. But I'm looking forward to seeing what type of tomatoes I can get off of this. And we have a sun gold, which is a cherry tomato. If you've never had a sun gold tomato, whew, you need to get you one. And this is my favorite cherry tomato, black cherry. It is so sweet. It is so delicious. So this is my favorite cherry tomato right here. Let's see what else we have. And last but not least, we've got Romas. So this is a determinant, and these are more paste for paste making tomatoes. And you can see this is really sturdy because it was right down by the fan. So I'm going to be excited to grow some of these. So they're really pretty. I'm really excited about it. They're healthy. The leaves are all green. You can smell them. So if I rub my finger across the leaf and just do that, all you smell is tomato. So they're already putting out that tomato scent for that plant. That's just wonderful. So let's see. What we got next. All right. So down here on the bottom, in the bottom, these are my flowers. So these are my calendulas. I'm going to try to get these out once we have this warm spell. It's supposed to be in the 70s, y'all, for the next few days. So I want to try to get something out in the garden and get these growing because these are a warm, cool weather flower. And that way they can start flowering and be there for the bees. When the bees come out early to try to pollinate, they can find flowers for pollination. And that'll keep them coming back into the garden. Of course, I got my snapdragons down here. Oh, and I started some lettuce. I've got to pluck it out. But check out my lettuce, y'all. It's time for it to come out of here and be put into bigger containers so that it can grow like it's supposed to. So these would probably be the next ones, the next seedlings that I pot up and put into bigger containers. And I'm going to put these in my 2.5-inch cups right here. I'm going to put these in these cups. That'll give them plenty of room to grow. And by the time they get to the point where they're a certain size, they'll be big enough for me to put out in the garden. So these are all my lettuce. I got prize leaf. I got a crisp head lettuce, green and red romaine. So I'm excited about that. Let's see what else we got. We got, parsley, guys. The parsley is beautiful now. I transplanted these up about 2 weeks ago, and they were about this tall. They were yellow. They were looking so horrible because they were in those little bitty pots that I started them in. So I put them in the 2.5-inch pots, and check them out. Look how pretty they are. I haven't put any fertilizer on these or anything. They just took off once they got into some really nice, good soil and some moisture. And they could probably, they're still kind of moist. I may not need to put any water on them. So I'm not gonna overwater them, but they're pretty. They're beautiful, and they've grown a lot since I had them. I have a whole tray of them down here, and then I have flowers. So these are my marigolds. These are all my different marigolds here. You can see I had a pretty good germination rate. I'm excited about those, so I'm gonna let those grow up a little bit before I take those plugs out. I'm hoping that when I do take them out, I can take them and put them straight into the garden. So these are all my marigolds. And I have some, let's see what we got back here. These are my zinnias and sunflowers. So I have zinnias over here. These are my sunflowers here. I'm gonna have to up pot these because these got kind of leggy. I think I left the dome, the moisture dome on too long. And when you do that, it makes them leggy because they're trying to reach for some light and it's blocking a lot of the light. So this is probably why they look that way. But it's time for these to be potted up into something bigger. And these are zinnias over here. These are all different types of zinnias. I have one that has a germinated. Oh, this is the nasturtium. This is a Empress of India nasturtium. This is a summer type warm weather nasturtium, and they're really beautiful. So I don't know why they haven't germinated. Maybe it takes longer. So they'll probably be popping up here after a while. But I want some of those in the garden as well. So you gotta have flowers because not only do they keep pests away, some of them bring a lot of benefits to the soil, and they also make the garden smell good. And the more you pick of these flowers, the more they continue to produce. So just keep that in mind. You can always pick them off, make you a flower arrangement. You can dry them, especially marigolds. You can dry them, make salves and oils and stuff out of them. And certain marigolds are edible. So let's go. So we have that. And then, oh, celery. So this is my celery. I have it planted in the green stalk seed trays, and I've got 6 of these, and I've got 100% germination. I have 6 plants, and each one of these cells for all 6 of these. Um, so that's what 6 times 6. That's what 36, 32. That's 30, 36, 36 plants that I have down here of celery. But look how beautiful they are. They were like turning yellow and stuff, and I hit them with a little fish fertilizer the last time I watered them, and check that out. They are just beautiful. They'll be ready for the garden. I love celery. In the summertime, I just harvest it. You know, I do cut and come again, and I will chop it up, freeze, put it in the freezer. Um, I may pickle some this year. I love pickled stuff. And it's always good to try pickling different things. I may want to try to pickle some celery sticks. And then I also use the leaves in salads. I also use the leaves. I'm gonna use some in some pesto this year and see what they taste like. It's always good to experiment with your plants, y'all. But I'm gonna freeze a lot of the celery. Once I chop it up, I'll put it in the freezer. That way during the wintertime, I can just get some celery. It won't be fresh, you know, like right out the garden, but the crispiness and the crunchiness of the celery would have been preserved. So that won't be a big deal. But they're beautiful. You can't get over how beautiful they are. And I do have a few more peppers left that I need to pop up down here on the bottom. But the rest of these at the top are these are like the kind. So this is a grand jalapeno. Let me see if I can move y'all closer so that you can see here. So these are grand jalapenos. This is a thick cayenne right here. And you can see how close they are to the light. So if it's too bright, I apologize for the brightness. But I want you to see how they are. You see how the leaves are reaching straight up to the light? That way they won't get leggy, and they can have a nice little stout stem, because I will be moving these down to get some air from the fan, or either I'll bring another fan in. These are my long slim cayennes here. These are the sweet bella. I have Jimmy Nardello in here, shishito, some leftover sweet bella. I just filled up some empty spots. These are my California Wonders right here. And I have poblanos and red hot cherries. Look how pretty they are. They're so strong. You can see the true leaves coming in on them. It's still nice and moist. I don't have to worry about putting any water on them, so they won't dry out anytime soon. And there's no fungus gnats, y'all. None. Not none. So I am so happy about my peppers this year. They are absolutely beautiful. So one of the things that I have the grow tower on the other side, and I have some basil, starting some basil over there. They're starting to germinate, and they need to be watered as well. And I also have some, I can't remember what's over there. Let me see. Hold on one second. Okay, so I got some different type of peppers, some exotic peppers. I have some, well, these are eggplant. These are like the long, skinny purple eggplant. These are pimento peppers. These in the back are cayenne. They're orange cayenne peppers. They have not germinated at all. I don't know what's going on with them, so I'm gonna give them a little bit more time. It takes a while. It looks like they're coming. It looks like there's one little speck down at the bottom, but just give them a few minutes. It takes peppers a long time to germinate, y'all, so don't panic, okay? And then we have the YOLO Wonder Bell. So this is like another type of bell pepper outside of California Wonder, and they're supposed to be more prolific and grow bigger. So this is my first year growing them. So try something different, guys. It's always opportunities to try different things. You never know. I can feel some of the roots are coming out at the bottom. Look at that already, and they're not even big enough yet. So I'm gonna give them a chance to get a little bigger, and then I'll pop these out and up pop them in something as well. So that's pretty much what we got going on in the I know. Let me show you the saffron. Let's see here. So check out this saffron, y'all. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at that. It's so nice and strong. Those crocuses, they're like bulbs, but they call for saffron they call them crocuses. They've actually started to split because I only put one in here, but you can see there's multiple branches coming out on them, and they are just absolutely beautiful. Now, saffron actually gives you the flower that you need to pull the little strands out around about September or October. That's when they bloom. So I don't think that I'm going to get any flowers on them in the summertime, but I think that once I put them in a certain place, it'll give these crocuses a chance to kind of grow a little bit more and do better and be strong. So by the time that they start flowering, they may give me more flowers than what I did because I've grown these before and I left them out and didn't care for them and they ended up dying off. So this time I'm gonna make sure that I care for these. But this is the most expensive, supposed to be one of the most or the most expensive spice in the world that you can grow in your backyard. So that's what I say. Always try something new. You never know what you can get hold to. Now, what I am going to do, my next thing, as soon as it warms up outside, I have some potatoes that have started chitting. I think I'm going to put my potatoes in the ground because it's that time of the year for the potatoes. Yes, we may get another frost. Yes, we may get some more cold, but it's not going to affect the potato itself in the ground. It will only affect the vine if it happens to get some leaves grow up above the ground level and there's a frost. It may kill those off, but it'll just kill those off because new ones will come up. So, but it's time to get potatoes in the ground, and I will be getting those. I have some more potato seeds coming, but I have some here already that are chitting that I'm going to plant so I can at least get the garden started for sure. So one last thing, some bad news. My greenhouse is actually collapsed on the inside. It's a polyurethane greenhouse, and it had like metal railings and stuff on it, and it's warped now. So I have a new one coming. I'm going to take the time to kind of tear that one down and replace that one with the new one. It'll be a little bit smaller because I really don't need that big one. And I'm gonna be moving some things around so that'll be look a little bit different in the backyard. So just stay with me so you can see all the new changes that are coming up back there. And I am going to end this video, and I hope that you all enjoyed me showing you all of my lovely seedlings and how well they're doing. Oh, before I end, let me just tell you, I'm going to fertilize, and this is what I'm going to fertilize with before I end this. So I have some fish fertilizer. You can buy this in the big box store. So this is fish fertilizer. And I'm just going to put some, maybe a tablespoon or two, and maybe a gallon or two of water. And I will take that and bottom water these plants so that they can absorb those nutrients from the bottom. Because right now they're still producing green leaves. They're not trying to give me any type of flowers or fruit at this particular point in time. So the fish fertilizer will allow them to, keep having the strength that they need to grow, so that when I do put them out in the garden, they will grow really, really well. So this is what I'm going to use. Be careful if you use it in the house because it's very, very stinky. I use it in the basement because, you can't smell anything when I close the door, and I try not to overuse it because it will actually increase your chances of getting aphids. So be careful when you use your nitrogen on your plants. You want to water it down. You don't want it too strong, just enough for the plants to have enough to feed on, because it could increase your chances for getting aphids, and you don't want aphids. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use today, and fertilize these up because they're starting to wilt and they're light. They need some water. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But anyway, get you some of this. This is a lot. It's a concentrate, and it will last you a long time. So, and keep it in a place where you have temperature control so it won't mess it up where it's too hot and it gets too cold and freeze and so on and so forth. So, so make sure you use this on your plants. But anyway, with that said, I am now going to end the video, and I hope you all enjoyed what I was able to show you today. And I'm hoping that you have already started your seeds, or you transplant your seedlings, or you're preparing your garden bed, or whatever it is you need to do to get something in the ground this year. That's what you need to be doing. And don't forget, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and share it with a friend. Bring some more people into the community so we all can grow together and we can eat some delicious homegrown food together. And with that said, come back to the backyard garden next time. See you. Bye.